Our first speaker is Igor from Reich. He's AI Solutions Product Manager. And he is going to talk to us about working with machines and AI tools. Let me give you your mic. That's mine. That's yours.
Hi. Okay. So I want to start with a story. Let me try. Yes, here it is. So I remember myself 5 years ago when I worked at Adobe. So Adobe is kind of well-known company. I work in the sphere of AI, document recognition, and we work with students a lot. We had a special degree in machine learning, the time at MFT Institute, and every summer we had lots of students in different areas, from analysts to engineers, of course. And I remember when I actually have really kind of bad experience working with students previously, so I wasn't really a believer of like working with students. I think that they just like eat your time and don't deliver like good value. And to be honest, I think that I wasn't alone. So what do you think? So students are usually just spending time like hanging out and having fun. Please raise your hand who think like this. Okay, not so many. I also thought that maybe they were just like theorists, so they just like reading books and know nothing about a real work environment. So who think like this? Please raise your hand. Okay, so, and last category is the thing that I actually was lucky enough to work with, is a student who work with like experienced programmers in our company, and who work like twice as much as them and deliver like 5 times more value like based on their salary than our full-time employee. And I received a message from him yesterday that after work with Adobe, he worked in a startup in a parallel of having a degree in university, and then he was an internship on Facebook and then Google, and at the end he ended up working in Google and received UK Global Talent Visa in only 25 years. So he was a really junior specialist like 5 years ago, and after 5 years he achieved quite a lot. I mean, a lot more than you expected from students who just watch anime and hang out with friends like every day. And I think that we all believe that AI technologies will help us kind of get rid of like dirty work and remove all these like low-paying jobs, but we were wrong. And AI is here to take your job. And it can be like you or you or you. And of course, if you talk about like layoffs in IT companies, especially like Facebook and Google and Amazon, we are talking about people who are in a real danger of losing their job. So not couriers. You can always be a courier, even here in Cyprus. But if you're experienced product managers, then you should be really worried about it. And that's why I want to talk about it in more detail. So I think there is a good, like lots of memes about it, because we heard a lot about hypes about AI and NFT and blockchain and metaverse, and I mean, maybe 90% of people believe that it's another hype. And of course, there are lots of like experts that were experts in metaverse, and they now becoming experts in AI and so on. You see there lots of time. You see people who talk about, I don't know, relocation to another country 3 months ago, and now he's expert in AI. Don't believe them. And of course, even Elon Musk want to deliver something in AI. He is like founder of OpenAI, but he believes that maybe OpenAI is not what he wanted to achieve, and it's better to use Twitter data to maybe do something in AI sphere. And I believe that this is not hype. I believe that there is a large kind of evolution of this sphere, really similar to what we see in a book by Clayton Christensen, Disruptive Innovations. So it was a long journey for AI. And then we, for example, started, I don't know, previous year, and so, I don't know, 7 fingers and terrible like teeth when we use like Midjourney, and we saw terrible answers, for example, to multiply 2 is 5 or something like that. We were kind of, it was funny, but the problem is that they evolved. And now it achieved the level of not the experienced product manager, but kind of assistant product manager. And you can rely on it in your work every day, or you can kind of abandon it. And of course, if we talk about assistant, so I personally believe that assistants can really save lots of your time. They can do like all the dirty work, they can create lots of documents, and most creative part should be on like senior product managers and so on. And I thought that it should be human. Of course, we are in a situation when budgets are low, but I think it will be AI, it will be a software. So I will have software assistant that will work with me every day. And I think that this is the same thing that happened, I know, some time ago with accountant sphere, and some people really didn't trust calculators. For example, I remember that time. And they didn't believe that they like do a good job. They have their like abacus, and they checked calculators. And now, of course, like no one do it. I believe so. So it's better to be a bit like higher, a bit closer to the like frontier of the technology to receive better results. So I'm Igor. I'm working at Reich. I work as an AI solutions product manager. So I'm with AI for about 5 years, and of course have some product management experience previously. And of course, in Reich we work with like different data. It's not computer vision. It's not voice manually. It's like tabular data and search. And we think that 1/3 of our like backlog items, what we have for AI, can be significantly enhanced and simplified with usage of OpenAI or similar APIs. Like 1/3 of our roadmap, not everything, not 70%, but 1/3. And we can deliver value not in 1 year, but maybe in 1 month or so. So we're going to talk about like 3 things here, about working with text, about working with graphics, and working with audio. So about text, again, hype is quite high, and of course everyone tried a ChatGPT or something like that. I think they have really good interface. That's why this hype appeared. But to be honest, this model was there for quite a while. It was there for about 6 months or so. So in general, it's really simple thing. It's just guess of what word should be next if you receive some text. So nothing really serious and no like magic, no sorcery inside. Just a simple combination of technologies, but predict what best word should be next if you send something inside it. And the problem is that it really helps human right now. So this is, for example, results of a recent research from, I don't remember, MIT or Stanford. There is a link there that checked different work. For example, lawyers, accountants, writers, marketing managers, and half of the group worked alone. They did task, and then someone checked how they did it. And another group work with ChatGPT. They can use it wherever they want. They can start with it, or they can ask them to share the advice or update it and so on. And the problem is that they started to work faster. This was removed, time moved from 30 minutes to 18 minutes. This is this graph. There was quite a lot of graphs in this work. They received better results, tested by specific experts, and they also have better job satisfaction. And again, the ChatGPT removed inequality between workers. So if there are senior workers and if there are junior workers, if junior workers work with ChatGPT, they work as fast and as good as senior workers. And again, this is just the beginning of this research, and I think more of them, of course, will come later this year and next year. But this is this is kind of science, and this was done with lots of kind of skepticism, but this is the results. And of course, if we talk about like product managers, what we usually do quite simple things. We collect all the information we have from analytics, from stakeholders, from different teams, and so on, and process different items. We process text, slides, create requirements, and so on. And of course, this is not rocket science. And this can be replaced by OpenAI or similar things specifically trained for product management work. So this is for now kind of doesn't work as as good as you as a kind of senior product manager or lead product manager, but it will. And the problem, it will quite soon. And again, if you want to hire junior PM, better spend this money on something else because you already have them. And there are like several examples. There are again several things you can do in many spheres. You can again write emails to clients. You can, for example, ask them to interview. You can ask them to create customer journey map. You can ask them to create OKRs. You can do summarization of customer feedback. What we, for example, do in our company. We have like thousands of feedback, like NPS score and App Store and assistant and support, and it's not easy to process it at all. But with like, AI technologies, it's possible in a matter of seconds, not years. Or even it can replace you completely and generate new features for your product. So why should we still work? Again, there are lots of different like hype websites and courses and so on that promise you to become a real master of OpenAI. But the problem is that there is no like secrets, and you should try, and you should definitely try different situations, different templates. But the templates what work for like many cases is like this. So you have role, you describe it as a product manager, as a marketing manager, as analyst, as a coach, or something like that. Do something like working in a company, like enterprise company in this country, and so on. Do something something meaningful for you. If you have do it as a table or as a CC file or specific code, for example, that you can put into your analytics database. And if you still need some different format, put some example. For example, if you need to receive it in specific format, then you should put, okay, if here's an example, this should be on the left side, and this should be on the right side. So this is kind of universal constructor, and I think you see lots of them in these like expensive tools on web. Just try it by yourself. And of course, you shouldn't think that ChatGPT is a solution for all your problems. It's not. Again, it helps only for 1/3 of our items, at least for now. But if you think, I think you should at least try and test it and use it every day. And I promise your life will change forever. There is only one problem. If you use OpenAI kind of playground that is kind of open for everyone, your data is stored. Your data is stored forever on servers of OpenAI, and they're used for training purposes for next models. So if you, for example, submit a strategy of your company, and when someone for like in a month asked what is the strategy of your company, they maybe receive your answer. And of course, this is not what you and your company want to receive on web. That's why like option number one is that you use API. You can ask developers to create a specific like website for you, or you can try a paid version of OpenAI, which costs just like $20 or something like that. Or again, try to anonymize your data. If there are customer feedback, do not use your company name. Just find it and delete it, and use, for example, maybe a tricky way, use your competitor name. I'm not sure how it works, but at least you kind of make it a bit, I don't know, trickier to find the answers for your company. And of course, it works much better with English. It works cheaper, and it works, I don't know, like 20 times quicker, and with kind of more reliable results if you use English. And to be honest, ChatGPT works as a translator, and it works really reliable. But if you want to use, for example, your data, if you want to use like Russian, for example, translate in English, better to switch to like paid version of Google and Yandex, because they work much better, for example, for Russian and Ukraine. I know like lots of people love DeepL, but here's, for example, results of research of machine translation services, which is done by servers who actually compare them and provide interface for all of them. And they said that Google kind of outperforms DeepL in most scenarios. And if you're talking about product use, then again, you see lots of hype. Why? Because 1st of March, OpenAI announced significant change of the terms of service. And if you use their API from 1st of March, then your data won't be stored and your data won't be there for training. So if your customers' data and so on kind of sent to OpenAI via API, they are quite safe. Of course, it's not how it kind of, there are some limitations as well. For example, for terms inside terms of service of OpenAI, they said that if there are some legal issues with generated text, it's not on OpenAI but on you. So if someone wants you to want like your service to generate, for example, a new Harry Potter book, then it's your problem of your product, not problem of OpenAI. So you should be really like, you should really care about it and check how to include this like legal things into your terms of service, or ask explicit consent from a user what he has rights to actually generate this text and so on. And of course, like lots of ideas. You can check Product Hunt. Out of like 30 products each day, about 20 use OpenAI. So I don't know, lots of different things happening right now. And again, just check, and I think you'll find a way to use OpenAI inside the product. And next thing is about graphics. Again, lots of hype. And I think actually the structure and how it works, it's really magic. Because if we talk about network, for example, Stable Diffusion, which is open source, then all the information about all the visual things which was created by humanity is here in just 6 gigabytes of data. So it's like one DVD disc contains information about like everything what was created by humanity in visual form. And of course, when you, for example, see how like it was trained to understand whether this noise looks like car or I know a squirrel, and then again try to generate this image from noise, then yeah, I think it's just masterpiece. And there are of course several networks. DALI 2 from OpenAI, then Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, and they are different. They are completely different, unfortunately. So DALI 2 can work via API, so it's quite easy to use it in your environment and inside the product. Midjourney it has like paid subscription, $60 per month for enterprise clients, which is quite cheap. But there is no API, no control at all. And Stable Diffusion is free. You can install it on your computer if you have a good video card, and you can use it everywhere. The problem with networks is that you can control them. So they're not kind of stable. And actually, if something good happens in this area a month ago, I don't see hype there, and it's a shame because I think it's another really breakthrough. So you have a separate plugin, again, developed by open source public, but allow you to control what Stable Diffusion works with. So for example, you have example of image, and you implement different styles. And again, you can not just use pose, you can use lighting, you can use, I don't know, some kind of example image, you can use like just some note about how it should look like. And I think this can be a different tool. This can be just a new kind of Photoshop. So for example, you have some image, you have some map of lighting, and it creates absolutely different images that works kind of exactly how you want them to look like, without your editing at all. And again, I think this will be a tool for designer, for every designer in this year. Maybe like in the next couple of months, maybe. And of course, there are several myths. And the main thing is that you shouldn't include these like secret, super high quality things in your prompt. Just be simple, just be descriptive, because it ruins the quality of your image. Again, you cannot control the like word ordering is not really matters, but you can use commands like man 2 and book 1, then emphasize some part of your prompt. And of course, with Midjourney, for example, you cannot generate similar images. So this is a big problem for enterprise clients, because they don't want I don't know, some random items. They want them to be in corporate standards. They want them to be with corporate colors and so on. This is not possible with Midjourney and Stable Diffusion alone, but this can be done with Control.net. And of course, just check what other guys did on Product Hunt and so on. You can use OpenAI DALL-E 2 inside your product, or you can use Stable Diffusion on your servers. But it will be not cheap, to be honest. It's quite expensive. And if you talk about audio, just quick reminders of like new things, what's happening right now. Again, I think there will be another revolution there. But what's happening right now is that, again, there is a free product, Adobe Podcast, and you can update your voice and receive really awesome results out of it, like it's recorded in studio, like really expensive studio. And Microsoft released network maybe a week ago or so, which is currently not available in Sandbox or in beta or via API, but I think it will, of course. And previously, for example, to train a network to talk like you, to kind of convert text to speech, they need, I don't know, 6 hours, maybe 10 hours, or maybe 100 hours of your voice. And of course, it's really tough task to do. And this network needs only 3 seconds of your voice to create completely non-identifiable, that is fake voice prompt, and works really reliable. Again, no way to test it, but just check. I think it will be quite soon. And of course, there are some problems. There are some things that emerging right now. And of course, again, lots of things will change in the nearest future. Again, GPT-4 and Palm by Google, and lots of other things were released like 2 days ago, just 2 days ago. And next version will be available in half an hour or half a year, sorry, or so. But we already can use this, and you already can use it. And again, I think that this would definitely change your work every day. And I was wrong, so don't be worried about it. AI won't steal your job, so yeah, relax. But people who learn to use it will. And this is the main thing I want to put in your head. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm here a whole day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a great talk. You have questions?
Yeah, hi. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much for your speech, and it was really very interesting. You talked about generating images, speech, making speech better, and so on and so forth. But what about creating software? I mean, I'm sure that ChatGPT can create software. Could you tell a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so...
Thank you.
Yeah, so there were some legal issues, again, of working with code generation by OpenAI. I mean, some legal things which didn't allow it to work in enterprise and so on, so there was some concerns, and they still are. But to be honest, I didn't include this into presentation, but it was another research on performance of developers. I think it was done by GitHub and so on. And they received results that using this kind of code generations improve performance of developers by 5 times. So, for example, it was like 6 hours to generate some kind of code by the developer itself. It was 1 hour and like 20 minutes. to generate it with usage of OpenAI. And of course, there are some corrections, some retraining and so on. But I think, yes, it will be another revolution there. There are still some legal things that still not kind of addressed, but maybe it will be done in like a month or two. So yeah, your developers should be worried as well.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Hi, thanks. My question is, you talked about having a software assistant essentially instead of a junior PM or something like that, and using AI to do that. And I was wondering, aren't we already using software assistants to do complicated tasks, to do complicated calculations? Don't we use software to do image processing or text generation already? What is different with AI? The fact that is it the fact that it's evolving and learning and becoming better with the usage? Or other than that, tools, software-based tools that do tasks and still parts of our job already exist for some time now?
So currently, this language model are trained on like open text, so text freely available on internet, and of course, your requirements, I mean, like company requirements, documents, presentations are not there. And of course, if we talk about something specific, I don't know, some B2B SaaS in the sphere of transport logistics, then it works not reliable at all. So it will work more or less reliable for B2C startups, B2C services, because again, lots of presentations, documents, and so on there. But the good thing is what you can teach them based on your data. So for example, you can just collect all the information you have in like Jira, in Google Docs, send it as a kind of extra layer from OpenAI, and then receive answer like you receive answer from another product manager of your company, like exactly same answers. Of course, there will be some fluctuations, but still. And of course, there will be some products, but we will help company to do it kind of easily. So please give us, I don't know, like your documents or just kind of folder, and they will create you, I don't know, bot that will help all your employees, all your product managers, and so on. So again, this is not what is available right now, but I think it will be available in the nearest future, maybe like this autumn, something like that, because this is a general cycle.
This one here.
Hi, thank you so much for the overview. I'm Yulia from SEMrush. So you showed great examples, and I was wondering if you could share any case from your own experience working as a product manager where you used any AI tools to solve your everyday or maybe some other big problems.
Yeah, sure. So we have several problems, to be honest. So again, there are some like technical work, which is quite easy to understand and kind of post to junior PM. For example, like generate some like document, again, some maybe like better structure of the document, or proofread text, or I know, create some kind of email and so on. So this is like everyday task. The thing that really amazed me is that we really create a good set of OKRs for our unit, and this is not, we are not a standard unit, we are like AI unit, and you saw previously that there are lots of changes, lots of the differences in the sphere, and yeah, it actually generates really good things for us. And second thing that really like amazed me is when we try to create a name of the feature, which should be kind of patented, like licensed, something similar to Copilot, but not Copilot. And there are also like several different names, of course, which are similar, and some companies use them or not. And we just created a really good set of words from AI. I choose like one of them. And no one, like in like 2 hours brainstorm, 20 people couldn't find this name. And this just one request with like 5 seconds, maybe like 15 seconds waiting, found it. So yeah, so again, lots of different things kind of evolving right now. So maybe something works not good, but again, it will change. And of course, you will be able to use it more effectively, and you can use your data to make it better.
Thank you for the questions. Let's close the Q&A for now and save the questions for the panel discussion after the second talk. Thank you again, Igor. It was a great presentation.
Thank you.
Let's talk later again.
Thank you.